Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the ACB sessions hosted by Jake and myself. Today is episode 6. We are 6 months into the year, which is bloody mental.
6 months is close to halfway.
Yeah. Quick maths. It has flown by, and we're both flabbergasted. Yeah.
Is that word of the day?
That's the word.
Flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
I think it is.
Yeah,
that's a good
word
one.
of the day. Why not? We have a few
word
things to talk about today, and why don't we just get right into it? How do you feel the last month has gone for you, Jake?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Up and down, bit Tower Bridge, I might say.
Okay.
But I mean, what goes up must come down, and vice versa. And so, to a degree, you just got to go with the ebb and flow, I think. I was doing better, I would say. And then there were a few days there where I really weren't doing so good. Like, I wasn't in a good headspace, and the productivity of everything just wasn't really happening. But to be fair to myself, like, given where I have been in the past, when I've not felt like it, I still made significant progress on the days I haven't felt like it. Like, at very least, I've done a couple of loads of washing, or I've tidied my space, or I've tried to get myself set up to go, right, I don't need to feel like this again either tomorrow or even later on today. So what can we do now to make everything a little bit easier? And just make some order out of the chaos, because so much of life is chaos and out of your control.
Yes, I definitely relate to that. My life is extremely chaotic at the moment, which is why I don't feel like I'm failing, but I feel like I've let a lot of things kind of dwindle a little bit. A bit of habits
Drop by the wayside a little.
Yeah, because there's only so much I can do with my time and energy, and I feel like I'm spreading myself a bit thin at the moment. But I think that's also just a bit of an adjustment period at the moment. We'll talk about my new job in a bit. But yeah, loads of exciting things happening. But like you said, if there's things going up, for me, there's also things going down at the same time. And I just kind of need to find a balance point where I can do everything, whether that's nutrition, keeping up good habits, like going to bed on time, eating well, like I said, nutrition, and then also doing all my taking care of all my responsibilities with the new job. So yeah, a lot to think about, a lot to talk about. Why don't we actually start off with nutrition? I know you've been really consistent with our spreadsheet that we've created, and I'll let you talk about that for a bit, and then I'll talk about why I haven't been doing so well with that lately.
Yeah, so it's good for us. For anyone that hasn't seen, Alex and I have a shared Excel spreadsheet where we upload just some numbers of how we're doing each day, and that's everything from calories, protein, your sleep, how much energy you have for the day, how many steps you did on a given day, and our body weight at around the same time of the day when we're in a similar state. So I just try and do it like in the morning after I've had a wee. That's the body weight I go with, and that's what I note down. And I've been tracking the calories and the intake, and not just eating anything and everything I want, but just increasing the stuff that's going to make my body kind of perform well, and just treating myself well for long term, because going on a diet I don't think is going to be the way for anything long term to stay, really. I think if something grows slowly, then it's going to die slowly. In that, it's if you build this good habit over a long enough time period, then that's going to be something that becomes an actual habit, and not just a little fad that you do for a summer or a few weeks. And then then you revert to your old ways, and then you're back in the shit again. And I've done that a lot of times anyway, and obviously that doesn't work.
We're all guilty of it, for sure.
I have tracked my stuff really consistently. It's as accurate as I can make it. Obviously, sometimes I try and make food at home as much as possible. If I ever do go out, I'll either see if they've got like some nutrition on the menu, or I'll Google it after when I come home. And likewise, I'm like, well, if I want to go out later and I know I'm going to eat this or I'm going to drink whatever, then I just allow for it in my daily intake, and then I'm like, right, I've got there, and that's my cut-off. And some people, it will seem overboard and like too calculating or a lot of faff, and maybe it is, but that is going to be the difference between being where I am and being where I want to be.
Yeah.
And so you kind of got to not give a fuck. And there's a lot of things that you don't need to give a fuck to, because you just stay put and you just do what everyone else goes, oh, but I would. It's like, all right, good.
Yeah.
You do it.
You do it. I think that's the best way to do it, is to do it in the way that best suits you.
Yep.
And in the way...
Not the majority.
No, exactly. There's not one formula fits all type thing. It's just literally down to every type of food that you like or dislike. The more foods that you include in your sort of calorific goals, that you can have as part of a balanced diet,
for sure,
the more successful, the more likely you are to be successful. So the more foods that you include that you like eating, that are part of a balanced diet, the more likely you're to be successful.
Absolutely. And I've also done meal prep as well, pretty consistently. I've been batch cooking for like 2-3 meals ahead.
Nice. Which
is great, because I'm like, both of us, we do have busy days, and like I just want to have something to grab that is like ready to go, that I can just eat and mong out and watch TV for an hour while I eat it, do my thing, and then I'll probably carry on with work, because that's just how I go.
And that's the best thing. Your past self is looking out for your future self, so you just literally you just open the fridge and go, oh, amazing, I literally don't have to do anything. I can just take it out, heat it up, or whatever, and then just eat it.
And it's like, it's not me going, oh, that's future Jake's problem.
Yeah.
That's future Jake's privilege.
Yeah. Maybe. We're working together as a team, you know?
Yeah. Because a lot of, I guess, where we stay stuck where we are is because we're not making that decision ahead of time. And I know decision fatigue is something that affects me quite a lot. I think you as well, and probably a lot of people in general, whether it be what clothes to wear and what to eat and whatever. I'm like, if I've made it ahead of time, and I'm going to have this thing, I don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to spend more time making more food every day and spending hours doing all that. Do you know what I mean? And I know that if I spend a couple of hours up front, it's going to serve me well in the longer term.
And I think it can seem, I don't know, quote unquote obsessive or whatever, but I think it's good to be obsessive about certain things, because it means you're trying to do it the right way. So if I'm trying to improve my quality of life, then I'm going to obsess about meal prepping the right kind of foods that I know I'm going to enjoy and that are going to be nutritious. And, you know, if we're talking about clothes, I want to, I guess for a lack of a better way of phrasing it, be perceived, you know, nicely, or you know, like I dress well by other people. So instead of on the day being like, shit, what do I wear? Oh, I'll just pick these random clothes and be like, okay, that's fine, which I do a fair bit of the time. But, you know, I kind of want to go into more of a direction of, okay, maybe I can make some choices, some clothing choices that I feel I'd be a lot more comfortable or confident in. So I could maybe pick those ahead of time, like the day before, and then for the day after, which, you know, a lot of people might say that's a bit overkill, but I think maybe if I want to invest in myself, that could be a smart choice, like similarly to the meal prepping.
And it's the whole fail to prepare and you can prepare to fail. And it is simple as that. And it might be overboard to whoever else. But luckily for them, they don't have to do it. They can do whatever they want that works for them, which is the beauty of it. And like, you do have a choice. I did similar to you, but like a few years ago, I went mostly black, if you couldn't tell. But everything goes with everything. Black jeans, black shirts, different types of shirts and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, the odd colour every now and again. But everything goes with everything. And you think, if I'm not worried about that, I'm confident in what I'm wearing. And not only how do people perceive me, but they also want to present their best selves to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think especially with the new job now, I have to be perceived as someone who's, cares about their appearance. And yeah, so I think that's just part of the whole process as well.
Absolutely.
I'm not just working for myself anymore.
Yeah, you represent as well.
Yeah.
So, and you're representing yourself first of all.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm the guy that puts the effort in here, and they could always be like, Alex is always whatever. And even if it goes unsaid, which it probably will, it's like that you're putting in the effort, and that is you showing up for yourself. So that's a win, regardless. Tell me about your nutrition. Yeah.
So like we said at the start, or like I said at the start, I've not been as consistent as you have. I'm a bit overwhelmed at the moment with everything that's happening in my life. That includes some health-related issues with my stomach. Just a lot of I don't know what the word is, but it's basically just like dysregulated system in my stomach. I don't know what's going on, so I'm just getting some checks done with doctors, and I'm waiting on the results back. But eating has been very challenging for me, at least in the past month. But I feel like I'm basically back on top of nutrition again in terms of eating things and not feeling like I'm going to be sick. So I feel like I can be taking notes again, and then start taking data again, especially with weighing my food before I eat it, because I've not been doing that, and I've not had the motivation to weigh myself, and I have weighed myself the past couple of days on and off, and I have seen that I've gone back down again, which is fine. That's what happens when you don't eat. Your body uses less resources, so it consumes less. But yeah, the goal is still to hit 80 kilos. I'm currently at 75, so to gain 5 kilos is not the biggest challenge in the world. All I have to do is just be consistent, like you are being with yours, and you've lost a considerable amount of weight this year, so I'd like to congratulate you on that, because that was your goal.
Cheers, dude.
And I think
I'm still yet to reach my goal.
Yeah,
I'm on my way.
You're on your way, exactly, and that's what matters. So I think that's brilliant, and I think that things have settled down a little bit with work now. I'm kind of in a little bit of a rhythm, and I know mostly what I'm doing now, and things feel a lot less chaotic than they were 2 weeks ago. But yeah, there's still a lot of a learning curve to be had. So yeah, one thing at a time, I'd say.
Cool. Anything else you wanted to add on that, or do you want to talk about your job?
Yeah, I don't think there's much else to add on the nutrition side of things. I've not been going to the gym too many times, like probably 2 times a week at most. I want to get it back up to 3 times a week. Even if it's just for doing like a swim or something. I want to be doing full-on strength training to support the nutrition, but even just going there is a good initiative on my behalf, I think. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that side of things.
Cool.
Yeah,
let's hear about the job.
The job. It's exciting. Obviously, with the ACB sessions, we've been following my journey with the frustrations of applying for jobs all the way now to getting the job, and now it's all about the job itself. So I can say that I've worked for a company called iRock, and it's a fantastic company from what I've gathered so far. It's a family-owned business, and we go to schools and we just teach kids music. Like, imagine Jack Black going to classes and just teaching kids songs that they love. We teach drums, keys, guitar, bass, and singing, and it's my responsibility for each kid to progress in their own way. Some kids are a little bit better in some ways in terms of their musical abilities, and some have previous teachings or knowledge about music, rhythm, melodies, all that stuff.
Sure.
But most of our kids are just absolute beginners. So it's quite a joy to see them pick up the instrument for the first time and get excited about making a sound. So I think I got quite lucky with that job. It could have been any kind of job, but I feel like there's a lot of potential here for creating amazing things and having an amazing experience on the job. And it's not just about earning money. So I think that's a big win for me.
It is a big win, and I'm proud of you for sticking with it, going for it. And I know you'd had previous experience with going for a similar kind of job for teaching and that in schools, and I think that put you in a really good stead for going for this one, because you knew what the interview process was about, what was kind of expected of you, and what would make you stand out. And you leaned into it, you went for it, and came up trumps, and here you are. So, yes, very well deserved. I don't think you just got lucky. I think you've made it happen, which is a big difference, because it means you've been resilient when you could have just took no for an answer. And you're like, no, hang on, I can do this.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna.
I appreciate that.
And you're living proof. So, pat on the back.
Yeah, I am doing it. I'm doing the thing. So we've got 3 concerts a year. And we'll have, in an ideal situation, it would be in front of the entire school, where the kids get to, be put on a bit of a pedestal and just like, look how amazing these kids are, and they're playing their instruments, and all the other kids in the audience, the ideal reaction would be like, wow, they're so cool, I want to do this as well. And obviously you can have all the parents in the back just crying their eyes out, being like, that's my kid, or laughing, whichever one or the other,
or both.
Yeah. Overall, it's been a really positive experience so far working for iRock. The induction process was quite simple, smooth. It was information overload, but the important takeaway I had from the entire induction was all the hands-on experience. So some of the staff and my co-employees, we pretended to be kids essentially, and we had to teach the class in the induction, just so we got a little bit of an idea of what it was going to look like. And I can happily say that a lot of those situations were just really, really exaggerated. So they
chucked you in the deep end.
They chucked us in the deep end, and we had to see how we would react. But most of the kids I've had so far have been really chill, and so we got the occasional kids that not misbehave, but are a bit hyperactive, and it's just down to me to see how to regulate that and make sure the classroom stays calm and regulated. Otherwise, basically, there has to be some form of consequence. I don't have a lot of options. Sure. I can't give them detention or anything like that, but I can talk to their teachers if they are really, really, really disruptive. Otherwise, I can just say, well, if we're not going to behave, I'm going to sit you down on the floor. That's basically all I can do. But it's never come to that yet, and I don't think it will. I feel like all my students are really well behaved, and they're
great.
Very eager. I think that's been the best thing so far, is seeing how eager they are to learn their instruments and play together as a band. we've already picked our band names. So I told them in the first week to come back in the second week and choose a band name. So
any ones that stand out?
There's one. It's called, what are they called? The Volume Crushers. That was a cool name. I like that one.
Should have gone with the Compressors.
Yeah, they know about compressors, I'm sure, but I think they just went with Volume for now.
Those smart 5-year-olds.
Yeah, very clever. I've got some prodigies in my class though, which is fun. Because it means that I need to try and get better at those instruments, and I need to get.
You just got to stay one lesson ahead.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, I'm always one lesson ahead of you, kid.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah,
say.
Overall, it's really good fun. I'm really enjoying it. There's definitely quite a few challenges. All the admin I have to do is not fun, but it's part of the job. I have to email people and call people, and internally, I mean, within my own company, talk to people about stuff, admin stuff, and then also talk to the parents about stuff. And yeah, it's a bit much at the moment, but I'll get used to it eventually. So yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about the job so far. It's been a really positive experience, and I'm looking forward to the next month of working there, seeing what happens. Of course, we're going to go into the summer break, so I think I've only got 5 more weeks now, potentially, and then we do this fun week called Camp iRock, where the kids sign up, or the parents sign the kids up, to go to one of our many Camp iRock locations in the UK. And I get assigned to one of those, I guess, whichever one's closest to me. And we write a song together as a band. So I'll be helping whoever I've got in the band to write a song. And then we were going to record it in a studio, apparently. And then the kids are going to shoot a music video to it. So they're going to be full-on rock stars. And I think that's over the course of 2 or 3 days or something. So that's going to be fun. And I'm looking forward to that. And there's a couple other things to look forward to. That we've got a conference at the end of that week just for the company. So I'll get to meet pretty much everyone at the company that day. I've met quite a few people because we don't have a whole lot of employees. But I'll probably get to meet people there because they won't be working. They'll just be there for the day, and that'll be nice. And then we've got all the typical company occasions like Christmas parties and all that kind of stuff, which is good fun.
Lots to look forward to, mate.
Yeah,
brilliant. So what else are you doing outside of all that? Are you doing creative things?
Outside of that, I'm working on Envision still. We're going strong. We've got loads of exciting things happening. I've actually just ordered some clothes which have arrived today. They're on the floor next to me. Still in the bag. And we're going to do a photo shoot because we've got some exciting news coming up for that soon.
Brilliant.
And we're still working hard on making new music and sending it out to whoever we can, just trying to get our first break. And that's been the story so far, really. Doing a lot of admin work, but trying to get a balance between admin work and creative work. Just keep chipping away at that. For me personally, I've not really had the time to do anything creatively outside of those two works. But Envision is kind of my creative outlet at the moment.
Yeah. Well, you've had a busy time.
Yeah. I don't think I can physically fit any more hours into the day with all that stuff that's going on.
You've had so much to learn and to bring you up to speed of what is needed of you by the company as well. Yeah. And then doing that as well as your creative, your own business stuff on the side. Yeah, it's a bit of a tall order.
Yeah.
You're doing good though. You're doing good. You're staying or you're getting back to being consistent with everything else. It's just like you can't give everything 100% of your attention all the time. It just doesn't.
Physically impossible.
Yeah,
I'll burn out, and that's the last thing I want to happen.
So it's like the whole spinning plates things. You know, you got like 4 or 5 plates on the big old sticks, and you got to spin one, and then that one's doing really good, but everything else suffers, and then you've got to rejig your energy and keep everything else spinning, and it is difficult. But that is probably a more realistic view of what balance looks like, rather than I've got everything in harmony at all times, because that is just a kind of a pipe dream of a version of just how we would like it to happen.
Yeah,
but
it just doesn't happen though, does it?
It's like me saying, I want to walk wherever to get my steps in, but I also need to drive there because it's too long, and I can't do both at the same time. You cannot, unless you're the Flintstones. Let me tell you about my creative stuff, I guess, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
There's a few things in the works. I've had to have a bit of a rethink on how I'm approaching getting clients through the door. I'm trying to... I don't think I want to just offer my services. You're offering a solution to a problem, right? That's what people buy, basically.
Yeah.
So just finding out what is valuable to people, how we can remedy it in the most effective, easiest way possible. And so I've gone along and been approaching companies and offering my audio visual services. I've had a couple of bites from that, and hopefully that's going to take off and generate some income. That would be really nice. I've had another offer for an editor gig, but unfortunately as of today I said no thank you to that, because it just wasn't quite going to work between us, and that's fine. And a lot of what I'm doing, especially as like my creative production company, if I'm offering audio visual services, is a lot of finding out what people really want, because oftentimes they don't seem to know what they really want. Maybe they want a video, but they don't know the full scope of it, and maybe they haven't thought about whatever. So a lot of my job is the back and forth conversation of like, what do you really want? What is actually going to bring value to you? And not just what can I make a quick buck off of, but what can I make that is going to bring people through your door as a company.
And they'll keep them coming back as well, I think, because that entire process is not just... People can tell when you're doing something just for the money, but you're very passionate about storytelling and making sure that the final product looks incredible, and you also got really good, you're very approachable. You got good customer service, I was going to say, but you're very personable and easy to get along with, and you're very accommodating, which is a lot of people look out for that when they work with people such as yourself.
For sure, because people buy into people as well, right? Not into a product necessarily. So, and when you have when you present well and you are approachable, like you've done with your clothes, you've got new clothes and stuff to present well, and for school and for the Envision stuff, I try and do the same or similar by dressing nicely, being presentable, having a smile. Which is
it's so underrated, isn't it?
Underrated. And it's just like, it's such a simple thing to do. If someone doesn't smile back or whatever, not a problem. But I'm still going to put out the good energy despite what feedback I get. And so when I've presented well, and I've worked with customers or whatever, the stuff that I'm getting back now, like other clients, isn't even the new people that I'm approaching. It's referral through word of mouth through whoever I've worked with before. And I was like, okay.
That's how it works.
So that is how it works. And so I've made this trust with whoever, and they trust me to share my name on to the next person, to the next person. And I had it the other day, and I heard about, I got an inquiry from a guy who heard it from a friend of a friend, So there's two people, a two-step between getting to the person that's contacted me, which is great.
And it takes a while for that to sort of be established. You just gotta keep looking out for that work.
For sure.
And I guess on a bit of a sort of negative note, if you do, God forbid, do something that's not great, that travels a lot quicker than the positive news. So you really got to be on your A game all the time and perform at
don't
your
burn your
best.
bridges.
Yeah.
Don't burn bridges, because the toes that you step on today might be connected to the arsehole you have to kiss tomorrow.
What a phrase.
I think I heard that from Sam Jackson.
Oh my god.
And he said, I think it was him, and he was like, because he would always treat the runners or the grip or whoever it was on the stage, or on a set or whatever, when he was making films when he was younger. He said, and he was like making a decent name for himself before Pulp Fiction and everything happened, but he was nice to everyone, treated everyone equal, which you would hope anyone would do anyway. But he just made an explicit point of that. And he said, and those people that I was nice to, whenever, he said, those people went on to become producers and directors and casting agents and whatever in their own right. And they then hired me because I was nice to them that time. And so I was asking them for the job, whereas they were however many leagues below me at the time when I was starting. Do you know what I mean? And so that's why it's always good to keep those bridges intact. And even if something doesn't end on the best note, you can still end on as best terms as possible. You can still be professional and not have to lose your rag at something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
As soon as you get too many emotions involved in a professional environment, that's just when it goes tits up, and you burn your bridge, like you said, which is the last thing you want to do.
That's not going to be good for you or anyone, because if you're going to take criticism personally rather than professionally, that's a problem. Because obviously there's going to be lots of other things that people do right, and you might have one thing that you're doing not so right, or it didn't work out, and that doesn't account for everything. Just like we're not every mistake we've made, we're not every good thing we've done, I know maybe the lessons we've learnt through those experiences either way. But the arsehole, the toes you tread on today may be connected to the arsehole you have to kiss tomorrow. That's good.
Fantastic.
It is good.
So good. So with that being said, with all the experiences we've had last month, I think now it's time to move on to the last part of this video, which is talking about our future goals in terms of the next month. I know I've got a couple of things in mind, but why don't you start us off on that one, Jake?
Sure. Next month, I haven't really thought that far ahead, to be honest. I guess just keep showing up for myself every day, be consistent. We hold each other accountable still, and I mean, getting you back on track is something that is still a success for me.
Yes.
Because the other day I know you weren't feeling it, and I was like, I know you want to give it some time before you start doing this sheet again, but maybe just enter your weight, just so you see where you're going, and then maybe that's an incentive for you to go, oh, that's a good whatever good I don't want it to be. So let's just try and at least keep it level. So for next month, I think I can achieve my weight goal. Actually. I think I could if I work hard on this. I think I need to exercise more, probably more consistently. Get those steps in, get the reps in, and fingers crossed I will meet that goal that I set for myself. And then that, I think I could do even better, like with the weight loss kind of thing. But I think the muscle that I'm going to gain is going to kind of take over, and like you said, I might plateau a bit early before I reach that other goal I want to get to. And which is also kind of why it's important to not just rely on the number, but it's like, how do I feel? Do I feel better? Do I have more energy?
Exactly.
And do you know what,
That's
dude?
spot on.
I have noticed that since I have lost some of the weight that I had, so I was 90 kilos at the start of the year, and now I'm 77 kilos as of this morning.
Dude, that's insane.
So that's 13 kilos, right?
Yeah.
I've noticed some things that have changed because I've also improved my sleep schedule. There are definitely times where my sleep schedule goes out the window and like I get an idea and I have to record it or whatever it is. But for the most part, I have better range of movement. I'm not as achy. I had varicose veins behind my knees, which have disappeared. The same in my right elbow bend there. That vein was looking to be kind of varicose and just, sticking out kind of. And that has cleared up through probably eating better, not overeating, exercising more, and maybe because I've also let go of some relationships and bits and bobs, and I'm no longer in touch with a few certain people because their energy wasn't good. The stress I tried to limit. I tried to just keep the peace, and anything that disturbs the peace, see you later.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to be said for that. And so I think it's not just saying no to other people, it's saying yes to yourself. It's like, yeah, I'm going to put myself first and I'm going to be selfish, because if I don't be, then I can't even begin to look after somebody else properly. And it is a form of self-love, I would say. And it's not going to be what everyone wants. But this is exactly what I said earlier on. You've got to give less of a fuck about the thing. Because what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's not your job to make people like you. You can't control none of that.
No, and not everyone is going to like you, even if you try. So
they're not going to.
What's the point?
And comparison's the thief of joy, right? I've said it before.
And you've got to like yourself. So, are you going to like yourself if you're going to try to make everyone like you? I don't think that's the case.
Well, that's similar to what Mike Tyson said. He was like, if you're friend to everybody, then you're enemy to yourself.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And usually the people I'm attracted to is the people with quote unquote a strong character. But a strong character in my eyes is just someone who does look out for themselves like that and doesn't take any shit from anyone that they don't need to take shit from. So I think that's a brilliant quality to have.
Definitely.
And yeah. Just looking out for yourself like that is what you got to do in life.
And a little sidetrack here, but when maybe you and another person maybe don't see eye to eye anymore, something misaligns, a relationship's not working, or friendship's not whatever it is, I think it's because we identify with there's a part in us that we love of ourselves, and when we see that in someone else, we also love that part of ourselves we see in them. And if either that part in them no longer exists, or you've grown into a different person and that part doesn't exist in you, that's where a mismatch happens. And now you don't share that thing, and there's misalignments, and then it doesn't make sense to be I don't know, maybe in each other's lives, or to keep committing to this thing, or to keep showing up. And a lot of what else it is for me is not what I could get from anybody. It's like, what can I give for somebody? If there's nothing else that I can possibly contribute and just give someone more of what they already don't appreciate, you just spin your wheels.
Yeah, wasted energy.
So exactly. And I'm no further forward. I'm just stressed, and I've suffered imagined troubles, basically.
Yeah. And
I've let my overthinking, out of control head do its thing.
And
I'm the victim of my own thoughts.
Exactly. And you're giving your energy to someone where you could be spending that energy on someone who actually reciprocates that energy.
Yeah. Or on yourself.
Yeah.
And so yeah. What do you think to all that sort of stuff?
I think that you're doing really well. I think that I was gonna ask you also about in terms of work, maybe if you could give me some numbers if that you have in mind for the amount of clients you want to get next month in an ideal world. Maybe you could give me some numbers like that. But in terms of your nutrition and the weight sort of goals, I think you covered that really well, and I think you've got a good idea of what you want to achieve, and I think you're definitely more than capable of doing it. You have been doing it, so definitely try and go for that.
Cheers, mate. In terms of numbers of clients and that, I don't think I'll give a number exactly. I think because it varies, because it depends on how many people I approach. Maybe I get someone who is interested, and then it actually takes a couple of days to work that out. So I really, probably wouldn't give a number exactly. And this is, I don't know if you've ever worked in like a supermarket or retail something or other, but you get given KPIs, which are key performance indicators, and it's basically you need to meet these things or you're doing shit.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like that if you're not meeting somebody else's expectation. I mean, yes, it is good to aim for something, but I'm not going to be discouraged if I don't meet this target in a way. Do you know what I mean?
I think that data like that is important, like KPIs and stuff like that, because that's like it's a measurable way of seeing progress.
For sure.
But our emotions shouldn't be tied to that data necessarily. Just like with a weight loss journey or the weight gain journey in my case, I shouldn't be discouraged when I see the number hasn't gone up, or
And you getting to 80 kilos isn't the goal. It's the outcome of your consistent and good habits and behaviours.
Yeah.
And that is what's the word? I don't know the word. I forgot it.
What do you want to say?
Another word for result.
Results. Like whether it's attainable.
Like outcome. I don't fucking know. That is a product of your progress. It is not just, you get there. I've made it. And now what? Because then there'll be the next goalpost, and you'll keep moving things, because we always ask what's next. So I think as long as I'm showing up for myself every day, that I am making progress, that I have a full-on CRM sheet, so that's me tracking my progress. I'm not just doing shit and not tracking anything, going, I wish this, or I hope whatever happened. No, I'm like, there's hard data for every client I interact with, even if that's a no, or even if that person's not someone I would want to work with.
But I think the good thing about a CRM like that is, even if they do say no, there's no reason for you to later get back to them again and try a different approach,
Exactly, because most people, even if they say no up front, they at least take a card, or I get their email address and they go on the mailing list. Do you know what I mean? And maybe it's not even no, we don't want your service. It's like, we don't need it right now because we're set, or we can't justify any budget to do whatever. Do you know what I mean? Or we're busy enough. But so and so might. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for example, the last advert that I filmed for a company down the road, it was for hairdressers, for like a Turkish barbers, and I was in there, did the shoot for a couple of hours, and they were impressed with what I was doing on the day. And before I left, the guy said, do you do weddings? And I was like, yeah, of course, whatever. And he was like, because my sister have you got a card? Yeah. Okay, cool, I'll follow up with you in a week. Do you know what I mean? Just stuff like that.
But you're well prepared there in having that card available, and just every time you ask the question, you are of course, and that leaves a really good lasting impression. You're very professional in that sense.
And whether that leads to anything or not, I'm ready for the interaction. and there's because luck doesn't exist. I don't think it's where opportunity and preparedness meet. And I don't know who said that. I think might have been like Seneca or something, a Stoic philosopher. But anyway, having that opportunity and preparedness meet is what we call luck.
Yeah.
And so it's, oh, well, you've got to be in the right place at the right time. Okay, well, how do you know where the right place and the right time is? Okay, well, you've got to keep showing up, and you've got to be there, and it's our job to be available and be everywhere, so
you got to know where the things are happening as well. So like if you're in
Yeah.
the music scene, you got to get involved in that scene somehow.
Right,
So,
and you can't do it just by reading a book.
Yeah, exactly.
Go out
to the
and
venues,
experience.
go find people, go to gigs, talk to the people at the gigs. Anyone from sound engineer to the band performing to the people in the audience, everyone just and like we were saying before, do it with a smile on your face. Be presentable, smell nice, and all those things add up.
For sure, and everyone has something in common, Everyone breathes the same air, the blood's the same, you're all pink on the inside. Like, you can make a connection. You just got to be willing to do it. I'd never liked doing any of that. I was always super anxious as a kid and underconfident. Because I let external things affect me, but now I'm like, I have enough. What would you call it?
Just confidence, yeah.
I have enough confidence to approach things and not be outcome dependent. I'm like, I've, put out the kind of good energy and the offering or whatever it is, and it's up to whoever else to match it and whatever, and then we'll see if that works as a connection between whoever and whatever.
Yeah. I think I have the confidence. I think that my issue is that I have like this self-sabotaging part of me that goes, like even with the job, like I have to do all this admin work, and like I had to chase people up at schools to organize concerts, and then my brain immediately went to, I don't like this job because I have to do all this like painful stuff that I really don't want to do.
Right.
But then, I have to look at it from like an outside perspective and be like, well, you could be doing other jobs. You could be doing jobs where you're, hating your life and you're just doing it for the money. This is an opportunity to inspire the next generation of musicians,
literally,
and you get paid to do it. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
It is.
So
often people want the life but not the lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Which is a difficult one pill to swallow.
And no matter which job or whatever you do, there's always going to be some part of the job that you're not going to enjoy doing. So
exactly,
just have to take it on the chin and be grateful. So,
what are your goals for the coming month?
Yes. So my goals are, number one, get back on the nutrition sheet and get writing down all the data as I have done at the start, and with the amount of detail that was doing it. Just get more comfortable with the job and the entire sort of process. Try and reflect every day after giving lessons and seeing how I can improve, what sort of worked, what didn't work, which I have been doing, and I've been getting something that's been really helpful is one of my managers has been coming in every once in a while, and he's written me some observation sheets and sending them to me. So I've yet to look through the latest one, but I'm sure it's full of good feedback, and I can just use that to my advantage and see how I can improve the classes for the kids and for myself. Otherwise, with Envision, I'd like to we've got loads of things happening there. We've got a photo shoot coming up, and we're shooting some videos and things like that too. We're going to be meeting in person, which is nice, because most of our business, we just run it online separately. So it'll be nice to sort of meet my business partner in person. and get some stuff done like that throughout the day. Maybe even get a writing session done in person, which is a lot better than doing it at home separately. But yeah, sort of, I guess if we're talking numbers, I'd like to slowly but surely start getting some paid work through that, because we've not been getting any paid work yet. We've just kind of been sending things out.
Mm-hmm.
So finding a way to get our first paid client, I guess, outside of what we've been getting in the past 2 years. We've had some repeat clients, but we're looking for new clients at the moment. So yeah, a couple of things here and there, mainly focusing on myself and my nutrition. I guess that's the main goal. Getting more comfortable with my work-life balance, and maybe potentially managing some more of my social life, because I've not been paying attention to that massively.
Yeah.
I've been neglecting that a bit, which is not good, because that's part of being a human being. And yeah, just staying disciplined overall. So staying disciplined and just working on my work-life balance in general.
Do me one favour though.
Yeah.
Change that to life-work balance.
Life-work balance. Right, we'll do.
Life comes first.
Yeah.
You don't work. You don't live to work. You work to live.
Yeah.
It's an important, subtle but important difference.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's good.
Otherwise, I know you are enjoying it, but you're still not your job, and you're not your money and all of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's easy to get tied up in, I do this, therefore I am that, which is not the case.
No, you're spot on. You're spot on.
Proud of you, man.
Yeah, proud of you too.
Really proud of you.
We're both doing really well, despite
Doing
all
stuff.
the challenges being thrown our way. And we're still here. We're still recording the accountability sessions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, we've done this for 6 months.
Yeah,
which is bloody good.
that is amazing.
Some people don't even have friendships that last that long. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Unfortunately, ours has lasted more than that.
Oh, unfortunately.
This brings us to the end of today's episode. Jake, thank you so much for joining me today in another episode of the ACB sessions. Like we said,
ACB sessions.
The ACB sessions. Like we said, we have been doing this for 6 months now, which is quite incredible. And I think we should both be really proud of ourselves for showing up for each other, but also for ourselves.
Showing up for this episode.
Showing up for this.
There would be nothing to see.
Even though we're not getting paid to do this. Oh, yeah. But we're not doing it because of money. We're doing it because we want to improve ourselves and be accountable and be awesome and achieve stuff.
Fuck, mate, you should do motivational talks.
Yeah, I should, shouldn't I? But anyway, yeah, this concludes this episode. Thank you so much for joining me, and we shall see you on the next one, where we'll have some more updates for
Lovely.
you. So take care.
I'll see you when I'm looking at you.